Maayong buntag. On behalf of the officers and members of the Philippine Press Institute and Manila Standard, allow me to join and congratulate you on the 29th edition of the Cebu Press Freedom Week. Let me especially greet Attorney Pacheco Cheking Chiares and his team in the Cebu City Press Council for leading and organizing this yearly event to keep the light and spirit up for a free press. What makes it doubly significant today is the simultaneous observance of the Cebu Press Freedom Day, a reminder of the dark and low days of martial law. Marking these twin events can only reinforce and reinvigorate your courage and fortitude in upholding the fearless independence of the Cebu Fourth Estate. Cebu has always been a bastion of freedom fighters. From Lapu-Lapu to Pantaleon Leon Kilat Villegas and Arcadio Maxilom, who all fought against foreign dominion on the battlefield, to social reformer Gadiopatra Quijano, who struggled for women's rights through her writings, down to President Sergio Osmeña, whose illustrious career in public service and nationalistic fervor took roots in the field of journalism, and Senator Vicente Soto, whose love for his native tongue earned him the mantle Father of Cebuano Language and Letters, and whose Soto Law, or the Press Freedom Law, now protects journalists from revealing their news sources. They are but few of the sons and daughters of Cebu who have rightfully gained place in the pantheon of freedom fighters. It is worth to remember that their exploits and deeds greatly impact our lives today, whose sacrifices for liberty and equality help lay the foundation of the freedoms we now enjoy. They fought for truth and what is right, not only for themselves, but for all and in the next generation to come. And that's exactly what this week-long event means, a manifestation of your shared commitment to those ideals. That same commitment we need today more than ever. The dominance of digital media and social milieu has given rise to increasing threats to democracy. Disinformation done by hired trolls is the most commonly used tactic to manipulate the public, especially during elections. Authoritarian and populist leaders have grown adept at this kind of deception and have even learned to harness legitimate networks to disseminate fake news. It is thus incumbent upon the press to drown it out with unvarnished reporting of burning issues. Equally crucial is the newspaper industry's long-term survival in its present form. Already troubled by the inroad of online platforms into the flow of news and information, the last thing it needs is a rampaging pandemic. Global reports of layoffs, furloughs, redundancies, pay cuts, if not outright closure, among media outfits abound on account of the deep slump in subscription and advertising. A dire situation further exacerbated by COVID-induced lockdowns and other social restrictions. Indeed, a double whammy that sends many newspapers into tailspin. It does not help that the so-called Gen Zs and millennials find the newspaper format difficult and uninteresting to read, preferring instead to source free information from the more engaging internet. Even older readers who find hard copy newspaper still relevant now mostly rely on free issues. This is the reality on the ground that we now all face, which PPI is fully aware of, particularly the difficulties confronting the community press. In its humble ways, PPI does share and contribute to support its members and keep the citizenry informed. We just launched the first of a series of explainer video on voter education. Dubbed in English, Filipino, and Cebuano, the video explainer hopes to steer the public to register and vote as part of an important citizen's duty. Succeeding video presentations will delve on the candidates' credentials and other election-related information to help voters choose the right leaders. In the wake of the pandemic in March 2020, we started to collect community stories from PPI members under the program COVID-19 Chronicles. As of today, thousands of vetted stories relating to the health crisis and its effect on the people and government responses have been collated. Once compiled into a book form, they will serve as documents on the actual settings in local communities usually left out of mainstream media. A cash token is given to writers whose work becomes part of the project. Germany's Hans Seidel Foundation supports it. On stream as well is PPI Digitalization Project. It extends free technical assistance to PPI members to develop their own online operations or, for those with existing ones, to improve and upgrade them. The service also includes how best to monetize the various features of the websites. A professional digital group has been tapped to do that. 10 community papers are currently enrolled in the program. Hans Seidel Foundation again sponsors it. The other side of that project is the PPI News Commons. It is a news-sharing online platform to help PPI members expand their reach and exposure beyond their existing coverage and provide them with more content materials for free. To be fair, only PPI members that upload and share their own stories, photos, and videos can avail of this privilege. We believe that by connecting these community papers scattered all over the country into one sharing network with unique hometown contents, effectively makes each of them national news outlet without them losing their local identity in the community they serve. We also believe that with wider readership and market base comes bigger opportunities for those willing to come on board. For lack of time, I will have to skip some of the project details. Suffice it to say that PPI's digitalization and news sharing efforts are intertwined to help create a more collaborative and inclusive media ecosystem where all participants have avenues to work together and share resources. We hope that in this environment, members of the community press will enable to flourish and survive the strong headwinds buffeting it at the moment and help it carry on its mandate of reporting the truth and defending press freedom. Daghang salamat.